All right, YouTube. This Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Early Monday morning. We've had a busy weekend. And it started Friday with Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic minority speaker. He told his constituents and his followers that they were going to fight legislatively, they were going to fight in the streets, and he really wants to go up against the government. See, the thing about this is Donald Trump won the popular vote. He won the electoral college. Conservatives have the Senate and the House and the Supreme Court and the will of the people. See, the Democrats have become a fringe group. It seems that they are being manipulated by some outside force because of the things that they're telling their followers. Last week I told you, get this book. It's the Constitution of the United States. Do you know the penalty for treason? Do you know the penalties for levying war against your country? Do you know the penalty for getting aid and comfort to the enemy? Because these people that's in the street fighting against ICE, the police, and the federal government, they're waving foreign flags. They're foreign nationals. Did you know that the cartel is actually shooting at Border Patrol along the border? You do know though that these things are acts of war. Invading someone's border, shooting across their border at government officials, trafficking along that border. So Hakeem Jeffries is advising his constituents to levy war against their own government, to commit high treason in the name of DEI, which never benefited black people. They say that black people who benefited under DEI is less than 4%. So that's a red herring to get you all worked up because they're really worried about the Epstein's list coming out, the Diddy list coming out, how the money was being used overseas. Why do you think Oprah Winfrey and all the rest of those elites were talking about leaving the country if Donald Trump won? They're using the immigrants and they're using the uninformed as human shields to create chaos and distractions so that you forget about Epstein's island. So you forget about the over 300,000 missing children. So you forget about where billions and billions of dollars of taxpayer money went. They're telling you that the Trump administration is going to take your Section 8, your food stamps, your Social Security, and your Medicaid. He's never said any of that. He created a freeze on federal funding. And immediately upon that audit, he found out that they had said they were sending $50 million to Gaza for condoms while veterans are homeless in the street. See, when you read the Constitution and it tells you about giving aid and comfort to the enemy, what does that look like? Because right here, these people have every flag but an American flag. They're waving Venezuelan flags, Guatemalan flags, Chinese flags, but they're burning the American flag in front of Americans, in front of patriots, in front of the federal government when Donald Trump had a mandate for the people. You know, the Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. They're using their constituents and using these immigrants as human shields. They ran a whole campaign on termination of pregnancy and the transgendering of children and tampons in the boys' bathroom. They ran an ungodly campaign. Their campaign was anti-God, anti-family, anti-country. So this is a battle between good and evil. And if you keep listening to these shields who make money, who got rich being politicians, the people like Roland Martin, who Kamala Harris gave $350,000 to for a softball interview, the Al Sharptons, who she gave $500,000 to for a softball interview, $10 million to Beyonce, another $5 million to Meg Thee Stallion to twerk in front of you. And when that failed and they still lost, now what? Now they want to create enough chaos to make the citizens, to make that party of Democrats full of women and LGBTQ people and pacifists and all kind of weirdos over there, make them think that they can actually stand up in the face of conservatives, patriots, and the common man. They're setting you up. It's a setup. It's a setup. Because they always quote King when he led a protest, but the difference between King and them is King was on the front line. They're nowhere out there. They have the people they told to go out there with no leadership. You know, there's provocateurs in the crowd. You know, there's agents of chaos in the crowd. So when it starts, don't think that you will have the sympathy of the people, because you won't. We're not going to say, don't be heavy handed with them. We want to see this uprising crushed. Because what's the alternative? We know if the Democrats get into power again and the manipulation that they're under by the globalists, we know y'all coming for our children. We know y'all coming for our religion. We know y'all are coming for the nuclear family. That's what we know. We know that you want to turn social norms up on its head. But the Democrats told you to fight in the street. They told you DEI was discrimination against black people when black people are at the bottom, especially the black man, at the bottom. 4% of black men, less than 4% of black men benefited from DEI, which is something that the Biden administration created only a few years ago. What were we doing before it? They're talking about what Trump said about the DEI as he may have related to the plane crash, but as more comes out, that lady that was driving the helicopter was flying way higher than she was supposed to. Way higher than she was supposed to. And they was giving her warnings that there were planes out there over DC. So what's really going on? But you know, Trump announced to you guys that they just opened Guantanamo Bay. You know, Guantanamo Bay, it's not only going to be for these illegals that are criminals. It's going to be for traitors too. And the people want that. The patriots that went conservative, We want traders at Guantanamo Bay along with invaders. It's the law. Let's go back to the Constitution. It's the law. We don't want you Benedict Arnolds amongst us anymore. In the face of the history of the Democratic Party, the Dixiecrats, the party of the Ku Klux Klan, the party of Jim Crow and redlining, the party that fought to uphold slavery, the party that wanted to keep their slaves so bad that they got mad and unalived Abraham Lincoln. They have not changed. They have become more sinister. And they have their shields and their attack dogs and their bootlegs out telling you to go against the will of the people, the mandate. And for what? Do you even know why? They had you cheering on a bishop that was a lady playing like a man, preaching the word. You know, the Bible and the Quran are two of the most conservative books ever written. So it stands to reason if you hate conservatives and conservatism, you hate the Bible. You hate the word. You want to bend it to your DEI and inclusion. You want to include things into the Bible that was forbidden and called abominations. That's what you want to do. But what you fail to realize is Donald Trump did not just win the electoral vote. He won the popular vote. You are actually levying war, allegedly, against the American citizens, the common man, the working man. These people are blocking traffic and creating chaos in the streets of America, waving foreign flags, upsetting our way of life with a sense of entitlement. And then you mad about Donald Trump speaking on the 14th Amendment, which the Republicans had to create to protect ex-slaves from Democrats. It's like history has come full circle. But you want to listen to your Roland Martins, who's Haitian, Joy Reid, who's African. All these people that are misleading you are foreigners. They're foreigners. So, of course, you know you're being monitored. You dissenters, you're being monitored. Your phone calls are being listened to. Your comments on social media is being listened to. You've already been identified as an enemy of the state. Do you think the Democratic Party is going to come to your rescue? Most of them are trying to find a way to get out the country and go somewhere where there's no extradition. They want to hide and put you on the front line. And in all the chaos, they slip out the back door for their crimes against the country and humanity. But you can't see that. All you see is your emotionalism. They're doing it deliberately, keeping you emotional so that you can't see the writing on the wall. Well, I'm like Daniel. I'm telling you what the writing on the wall says. That if you go against your country, your God, and your neighbors, you're doomed. So let's watch Hakeem Jeffries as he urges people to go and fight the government in the streets. This is for fair usage under the 1976 Copyright Act, education, and commentary. Is this your leader?
We are going to fight it legislatively, We are going to fight it in the courts. We're going to fight it in the streets. We are going to fight it legislatively. We are going to fight it in the courts. We're going to fight it in the streets. We are going to fight it.
Ironically, he said this Friday, and people took to the streets, but he was nowhere to be found.
Legislatively, we are going to.
Turning now to thousands of anti-ICE
Again, the Democrats are setting you up. They're setting you up. They're setting you up to go against the government, patriots, your neighbor, and God. And you're falling for a hook, line, and sinker. Because I want you to look at this last clip and see what's going on in America right now.
protesters taking the streets in downtown LA.
They marched onto the freeway and blocked traffic on the 101, speaking out against President Trump's immigration policies. And KCAL News reporter Amanda Starantino live still in downtown where protesters are faced off with law enforcement through the night. Amanda?
Good evening. Well, parades of people have been protesting from the morning well into the evening, some still going now. And you can see LAPD still behind us here. They have blocked off the Main Street Bridge here, and they continue to move their skirmish line through the area, trying to push people out. About 6 p.m. this evening, police declared this an unlawful assembly. And since then, they've been working to get people to disperse out of this area. We still have CHP and LAPD choppers ahead watching where these protesters are going as they continue to make their way through downtown LA, sharing their strong message against President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. Thousands of people took to the streets of downtown LA, protesting President Donald Trump's illegal immigration policies. The demonstration started on Olvera Street with a march to City Hall early Sunday afternoon. LAPD ordered multiple street closures in the area as the moving protests grew in size. It eventually shut down the 101 as demonstrators took their rally to the freeway. With Mexican and Central American flags waving, signs referencing the president's stance on immigration, explosions of fire.
Now you think about this. These people are demanding to stay in this country while showing their allegiance and love for another country. Out of all those flags that they're waving, you don't see an American flag. Not one. They burnt those. So, what does this country do with traitors? What do we do in the face of treason? How do we interact with people who are anti-God, anti-family, and anti-country? This is where you're going to F around and find out. You're going to find out that you've been played for a fool. You're going to find out that the Democratic Party has put you out front as human shields. And you're going to find out that nobody sympathizes with the traitor. Everybody hates traitors. Traitors are worse than snitches. Now we're going to say allegedly in all this, because we know, for the most part, a lot of you love your country. But the ones who don't, now is not the time to play, because things are going to get real serious real quick. So you better be built for it. This can't be about talking and then you're going to be crying and you're going to be wanting mercy, because at a certain point, mercy and grace goes out the window, and it's all about punishment and retribution. That's why some more.
Fireworks and chants of Si Se Puede, their message loud and clear against the president's promise of mass deportation. We're not criminals. We just want to work. A lot of people just want to work. We all want to survive. Sarah Aguilar of Long Beach is a daughter of immigrant parents. I'm out here to represent for my people. I'm out here to be the voice for the people that have been silenced out of fear. I'm out here to keep pushing. And as
She out there to represent her people with her flag. They saying the quiet part out loud because the Democrats have emboldened these foreigners. I couldn't imagine going to another country, burning a flag, and then waving the American flag. I would know that was inappropriate. I would know I'm liable to end up in the stockade, the gulag, the hooskow, the bing, the pen. I would know that. Who has told these people that they can be in here illegal and then do an illegal protest and an illegal assembly and have threats? Let's look at the rest of it.
this protest goes into the evening hours, traffic completely gridlocked on surface streets right alongside the 101 as thousands of protesters take over the Main Street Bridge downtown.
This really hurts. Like, seeing everybody go through this thing, like, I have family members, I got friends that have to go through all this stuff, and it just hurts.
Carlos Cervantes of Brea protesting in the downtown traffic.
All the hate, honestly, all this new laws that Trump is trying to bring into this world, like, this is not what we're really, like, looking for.
Since taking office, President Trump has signed multiple executive orders cracking down on illegal immigration. In Los Angeles, ICE has begun deportations, a fear for many who showed up to this protest.
It's not just about our individual selves, it's about our friends, our families, our students, our neighbors, for those who cannot show up today. It's sad in the fact that they're coming so strong with all these ICE raids and they're unjustifying the deportation of some of the U.S. citizenships that have been taken just because of how they look. And I just think right now these are needed. They're very much needed because it is the moment where you are going to see that all of the voices, all of the people are together. And when we're together, we will not be divided.
In a post on X, LAPD says the demonstration is non-permitted. And by 6 p.m., the department declared it an unlawful assembly and began to close in on protesters.
Look at this. This is beautiful. This is all the people. We are the people. Power to the people.
No, she's not the people. We the people. I'm insulted. She is not the people. She has a whole different flag. She is the people of South America. She is not the people of the Constitution, or she wouldn't have a flag from another country, acting like she's entitled to something. She wanted protection under the 14th Amendment that my ancestors fought for in this country. They have been emboldened. It's a whole takeover. They've been taking over our phrases. She said, we the people. We the people only have one flag. We the people only have one creed. See, this is where you're going to F around and find out. So I know that probably some liberals going to get in my comments. I hope you do. I hope you say something. I hope you say the worst thing you can possibly say so we can identify you. So you can be identified. Make a threat in your comments. Be identified. Because at this point, this is treason. This is treason. Let's finish.
So you can see the 101 back open in both directions now, but CHP blocking the Los Angeles Street exit right there, right before Alameda and Union Station, blocking access also to the Main Street Bridge as well. But if you come back out here, we can see that LAPD still has their presence out here. It looks like they've been able to push those protesters out of this area. It looks like they made it their way down to Main and Alameda, where we can see those choppers, the law enforcement choppers, still circling that area. And we still have a LAPD coming down right here too on Spring and Arcadia, patrolling this area, trying to get everyone to disperse as they have.
Let me tell you, ever since that border been open, I've seen so much destruction in our communities, people using a narcotic that's so strong that it's taking their lives. Hundreds and thousands of people losing their life to fentanyl. Something they knew nothing about not so many years ago. Think about that. They not only come and compete with us for jobs, they come bringing poison and a sense of entitlement. And the left wants to embolden them while at the same time transgender our children. There is no sympathy. The Democratic Party at this point is everything that they tried to accuse Trump of. Because where is the democracy that they talked about? They sore losers.
Called this an unlawful assembly, so we'll keep an eye on this. We do not know if any arrests have been made so far yet. Back to you guys.
Thank you. A rowdy crowd of protesters also gathered in the San Fernando Valley. Police say about 250 people are at this demonstration in Pacoima. The group says they just want to get their message across.
We're out here demonstrating. It's a little ruckus, but we're out here showing that, the immigrants do matter. For our people, we help build this state. We help build this country.
It's because it's super injustice that this is going on when immigrants really do.
Don't they sound like Jasmine Crockett? Don't they sound like the Democratic shields whenever they get to doing something? We the people, we built this country. So everybody who got a gripe built the country. Where they get this playbook? Throughout history of this country and reading history books, when have Mexicans and Venezuelans ever been attributed to building this country? When did Venezuelans build America? Point out something that the Venezuelans built in America. Now the Mexicans, we know they attacked the Alamo. They attacked Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone them at the Alamo. We know that. We know history teaches that. Did y'all know that? At the Alamo, it was Jim Bowie or the Bowie knife and Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone and all them people that went down there to the Alamo and was massacred by Mexicans. That's the history. Check that out. Check out the Battle of the Alamo. That'll tell you your relationship to the Mexicans. Let's finish this clip.
Make America great. We help build your crops. We help build these constructions, and you treat us like garbage, like if we're unuseful.
Yeah, some people, police say some vehicles, I should say, were performing stunts and blocking streets. No word yet on if any arrests have been made.
Let me say this. There was a saying down in Texas, remember the Alamo. If you've came this far in the video and you're a subscriber, please put remember the Alamo in the chat. I want to see how many people actually finish this video. So put those words in the comment section. Remember the Alamo. Well, this is Monday morning coming to you out of Detroit. Salute to all Patriots. Support the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, salute to all Patriots. Remember the Alamo.